Hello, everyone, and welcome to Travel Smart. I'm your host, Lauren.
And I'm Ethan. We're so glad you could join us today. We have a really practical topic that can cause a lot of confusion for visitors to the United States.
That's right. Today, we're talking all about money and payments. Our episode is called Credit Cards and Payments in America, a beginner guide for international visitors.
So if you're a tourist, a student, a new immigrant, or even just learning English and want to understand the system better, this episode is for you. We're going to keep it simple and clear.
Exactly. Let's start with the basics. Ethan, what are the most common ways to pay for things in the U.S.?
Great question. The first thing to know is that America is very card-focused. Most people use plastic for almost everything. The main types you'll see are credit cards and debit cards.
Right. And you'll also see a lot of people using their phones for contactless payments, like Apple Pay or Google Pay. It's super common and very convenient.
Definitely. So let's quickly explain the difference between a credit card and a debit card because this can be confusing.
Good idea.
A debit card takes money directly from your bank account. It's your money. When you pay, the money is gone from your account almost instantly.
And a credit card is different. With a credit card, you are borrowing money from a bank. You pay for things during the month, and then at the end of the month, you get a bill that you have to pay back to the bank.
Exactly. For most visitors, your card from your home country will work just fine, whether it's debit or credit. Now, let's talk about actually using these cards. Lauren, imagine we're in a store. How do we pay?
Okay, so you'll go to the cashier and they will tell you your total amount. You'll see a small machine called a card reader. You have three main options.
First, you can insert your card into the machine, chip first. This is for cards with a little gold or silver square. You leave it in until the machine beeps and says it's okay to remove.
Right. The second option is to swipe your card. This is for older cards with the magnetic stripe on the back. You just slide it through the slot on the machine.
And the third and most modern option is to tap your card or your phone. This is for contactless payments. You just hold your card or phone near the screen with the contactless symbol, and it pays instantly. It's very fast.
And what about self-checkout? You see that everywhere in big supermarkets.
Oh, yes. At a self-checkout, you are your own cashier. You scan your items, and then the machine will ask you how you want to pay. You just follow the instructions on the screen and use the card reader just like you would with a person.
Okay, that makes sense. But restaurants are a bit different, right? Especially with tipping.
Yes, this is a very important cultural point. In America, it is standard to leave a tip for your server. A tip is extra money you give for good service.
How much should you tip?
A good rule is between 15 and 20% of the total bill. So when you get your receipt or your bill, you'll see a line for the tip. You write how much you want to add, then you write the new total and you sign your name.
That signature is important. It confirms you agree to pay the new total amount. Sometimes they bring a portable card machine to your table, and you can add the tip directly on the screen.
That's becoming more common. Okay, another special case, gas stations. How do you pay for fuel?
This can be tricky for international visitors. Most gas pumps have a card reader right there, but often the machine will ask for your zip code for security.
A zip code is an American postal code. Your international card won't have one.
Right, so if your card doesn't work at the pump, don't worry. Just go inside the gas station shop, tell the cashier which pump number you are at and how much gas you want to buy. You can pay them directly with your card and then go back to your car and pump the gas.
That's a great tip. And what about online shopping?
Using your card online is pretty standard. You'll need to enter your card number, the expiration date, and a 3 or 4-digit security code, usually called a CVV, which is on the back of your card.
The CVV. Let's move on to something that often surprises visitors, security deposits. Can you explain what that is, Ethan?
Of course, when you check into a hotel or rent a car, they will often put a hold or a security deposit on your credit card. This is a temporary block on a certain amount of money.
It's important to note this is not a charge. They don't take the money, they just hold it to make sure you have enough funds to cover any potential damages or extra charges.
Exactly. After you check out of the hotel or return the car, this hold is released. It can sometimes take a few days for the money to be available on your card again, so it's good to be aware of that. It's best to use a credit card for this, not a debit card.
That's a key point. Now, let's talk about some potential problems. Sometimes an international card might not work. And what about extra fees?
Yes, you need to know about foreign transaction fees. This is a fee that your home bank might charge you every time you use your card in a different country. It's usually a small percentage of the purchase, maybe around 3%.
3% can add up quickly on a long trip. So here is a money-saving tip. Before you travel, call your bank and ask about their foreign transaction fees. Some travel-focused credit cards don't have these fees at all.
That's a great tip. And what about getting cash? Let's talk about ATMs.
ATMs, or automated teller machines, are everywhere. You can use your debit card to withdraw cash. But be careful about fees.
Right, you might be charged 2 fees. One fee from the ATM itself and another fee from your own bank for using an ATM in another country. It can be expensive.
So another money-saving tip, if you need cash, it's better to withdraw a larger amount once rather than taking out small amounts many times. This will reduce the number of fees you have to pay.
That makes sense. This brings us to a bigger question about culture. How often do people in America actually use cash?
Honestly, not that often. As we said, cards are king. Most places, from big stores to small coffee shops, prefer cards. Some places are even becoming cashless, meaning they don't accept cash at all.
But it's still a good idea to have a small amount of cash, right? Maybe $20 or $50.
Oh, definitely. Cash can be useful for very small purchases, for leaving a tip in a hotel room, or for buying from street vendors or at a farmer's market. And it's always good to have some for emergencies.
Good point. Okay, what about social situations? Say you're out for dinner with friends. How do people split the bill?
This is a great question. You can always ask the server, can we have separate checks? And they will give each person their own bill. Or one person can pay the whole bill with their card and everyone else can give that person cash.
Americans also use apps on their phones like Venmo or Zelle to send money to each other instantly. But these often require a U.S. bank account, so they may not be an option for short-term visitors.
True. So let's wrap up with some common mistakes to avoid and some safety tips. What's a big mistake visitors make?
The biggest one is not telling your bank you are traveling. If your bank suddenly sees charges from America, they might think your card is stolen and block it for security. Always call them before you leave.
Yes, that is so important. Another mistake is forgetting to sign the receipt at a restaurant. That signature is your authorization. Also, not understanding the tipping culture can sometimes be seen as rude, so it's good to remember that 15 to 20%.
Okay, and finally, let's talk safety. How can you protect your cards and your money?
Basic safety rules apply. When you use an ATM or a card reader, cover the keypad with your hand when you enter your PIN number. Be aware of who is around you.
It's also wise to not carry all your cards and cash with you at the same time. Leave a backup card in your hotel safe, just in case something happens to your wallet.
That's very smart. And check your bank account statements online every few days, just to make sure all the charges look correct. If you see something strange, contact your bank immediately.
Wow, that was a lot of information, but hopefully really helpful. Let's do a quick recap. America loves cards. Understand tipping and tell your bank you're traveling.
And watch out for fees. Following these tips can make your trip much smoother and save you from some stressful situations. That's all the time we have for today.
Thanks for listening to Travel Smart. We hope this guide helps you feel more confident when you're paying your way through the USA. Safe travels!